She made it today.
She lived here?
Well,
Yeah.
waiting on
When I can come. And I know.
They're asking when we're here.
Maybe we'll go for 2 weeks and then fly back here and report.
Let's see. Sure.
Oh, that's right, that's the choir law.
I mean, for some reason, I just.
Well, sometimes we might be able to do, now, the intention makes very slow. So it makes it more difficult.
Shabbat Shalom, Joni.
Shabbat shalom. Yes.
You got to talk with Elizabeth?
Good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we taught some school.
So I talked to you.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know where. Yes, today.
She told me that you two share a birthday.
Yeah. Yes, definitely we do.
Yeah, I was still those thoughts.
Barbara, welcome back. Yeah, but,
We get that. I gave him the answer to get out.
We just gonna meet next week.
He said that he wasn't. Of course, so he texted me during the week saying he would come out here today.
We'll see. Adar, okay. I think this is.
You know, when you got little kids, one is 3 and the other one is not quite a year. And she's just 2.
Okay.
And then something cooks up.
Okay, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Actually, Purim Sameach, Happy Purim. Happy Purim, Purim.
The last 3 minutes.
And yes, we got to squeeze every ounce of goodness and joy of Purim. So we're actually, with that in mind, we're actually going to do a very brief mincha service, which we don't usually do, but since we're able to, let me just find the page. Mincha. Afternoon service. That's for Shabbat festivals. Weekday evening service, blah, blah, blah. Weekday afternoon service before Shabbat or festival is 289. And I hope everybody had a happy Purim and enjoyed a festive meal, because that's the best part of Purim, I think. Having a nice meal and drinking some good wine or whatever. Whatever. Or beer, did you say? Or beer? Is that what you had? Nice. What kind of beer did you have?
Heineken.
All right. Hi. So the afternoon service begins on page 289. And we're going to do kind of a renewal style chanting of Ashrei. And I'll explain that in a moment. So the afternoon service we have Ashrei, and then we have the Amidah on page 291. If we get a minyan, at some point, we'll do the things that we can do with a minyan. But for now, we'll go from Ashrei to the Amidah on page 291. And then towards the end of the Amidah is a special prayer for Purim, which is can be found on page, when you get near the end of the Amidah, page 298, at the bottom of the page in red, it says on Purim, we add Al Hanisim on page 431. So we'll turn to page 431 at that point. And we'll just be doing our own individual Amidah. So, okay, so this renewal style of Ashrei. So the key verses in Ashrei are the first verse and one of the middle verses. So the first verse, Ashrei Yoshvei B'Techa Odialo Chasela, means fortunate are those who dwell in your house, and they shall praise you forever. So we're going to do kind of a call and response chanting, and for that, and then we're going to do the verse that starts with the letter Pei, Poteach et yadecha, you open your hand, Poteach et yadecha, Umazbia l'chol chai ratzon, and you satisfy the desire of all life. And there is transliteration for this somewhere in the book, and I don't know where.
It's in the Musaf of Shabbat,
Oh,
I think.
By George, I think she's got it. Yes.
I think it's just before.
Yeah,
Stick around, I'll find it.
yeah.
This page, it's
Musaf for Shabbos.
it's before that.
Musaf.
I thought it was in Musaf, but I may not be in Shachrit.
No, I think you actually are correct. So when you find the Musaf, let's see. Midah for Musaf for Shabbat. 185. So I have a feeling on 180.
It tells you.
So on page 181, so on page 181, in the red, on the bottom, so there will be the first verse, we're going to chant that, call it like a call and response. We'll do it a few times and you'll pick up the melody. And then on the next page, page 182, in the middle of the red, there's a verse that starts with the letter P, Poteach et yadecha. And that we're going to chant, we're going to sing that together. And I'll teach you that. And again, you'll pick it up. You'll pick it up. Okay. So this is the call and response part. Ashrei,
Ashrei,
Yoshvei, and then together we sing Veitecho, and we keep singing this together. All right, we'll do this call and response. Od Yahalucha. And then we sing together. Selah. Okay, we'll try it again. Ashrei. Yoshvei. Veitecho. Actually, that one's together. We'll try that again. Together. Veitecho. And then Od Yahalucha. And then you sing Od Yahalucha. And then together. Selah. We'll try one more time. Ashrei. Yoshvei. And together. Veitecho. Od Yahalucha. Selah. And then we turn the page to the letter P or the letter K, and I'll sing it a couple of times. It is in Hebrew and English. It goes like this. Poteach et yadecha. Just listen the first time. Poteach et yadecha. Umasbia l'chol chai ratzon. Keep listening. Don't sing yet. Poteach et yadecha. So that's the Hebrew part. So let's try that together. Poteach et yadecha umasviel kochai ratzon. Poteach et yadecha umasviel kochai ratzon. Then the English goes like this. You open your hand, I open my life to this abundance. You open your hand, I open my heart to this abundance. All life is satisfied. All life is satisfied. So we'll sing the Hebrew again together. Poteach et yadecha umasviel kochai ratzon. Poteach et yadecha umasviel kochai ratzon. You open your hand, I open my heart to this abundance. You open your hand, I open my heart to this abundance. All life is satisfied. All life is satisfied. One more time in the Hebrew. Poteach et yadecha umasviel kochai ratzon. Poteach et yadecha umasviel kochai ratzon. Okay, we'll turn now to the Amidah on page 291. And we'll rise for the Amidah. And this will just be individual prayer. And remember to add the paragraph for Purim at the end. If you're still in the midst of your own personal prayer, please continue until you're finished. Yitkara v'ikra shmira pa, v'yamad yivrach yirtei v'yamlich machlotei, v'chayei chon v'yamei chon v'chay decho bein Yisrael, v'agalav zman karibim ramein, yehei shmira v'mevora, v'yadam alav v'yamayo, yitbarach, v'yishtabav, v'yitbor, v'yitrumav, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yithalal, shemei nekudusha brichu, leila min kol berchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, d'amiram v'yamav v'yimramein, Titkabel Satan v'adahon d'chol Yisrael kadam v'hon v'ishmaya v'imramein Yehesh l'amarava min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'imramein Oseh shalom v'imramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'imramein Aleinu on page, actually, we're actually going to skip Aleinu since we're going to say it later in the service anyway. So let's actually just go right into, no, never mind. Cross that off. We're going to do Aleinu so we can do a weekday. We can do a mourner's Kaddish because some people need to say Kaddish and haven't said Kaddish this week. So Aleinu, page 301, and we rise for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'ton hakol l'tikudula liotze v'recheshit shelo asanu k'giyeh ha'atzot v'lo samanu k'mishatot ha'adama shelo sam halkeinu profet v'gol aleinu gelo k'monam v'anachnu kovim u'mishtachavim u'motim livnei melech malkei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noten shamayim v'yosed haaretz u'moshe v'chalo v'shamayim v'mahal u'shina tutzon v'kofei miromim hu Eloheinu Eloheinu Emet Malkeinu Eveshulata V'katu b'tochato v'yadata yom hashevota elevavlecha Ki Adonai hu Elohim ha'shamayim v'ma'al v'ha'aretz Ki amachut shepahil me'atmo b'chavod ka'katuv b'toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam vo'ed Ne'emar v'koyel Adonai melech ha'aretz Hayom ha'hu b'yom ha'hu yeh Adonai echad u'shma If you're saying Kaddish, you can find that on page 302. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shmei rabba.
Amen.
V'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman kariv v'yiru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabba v'farach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitokar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei nekudusha v'rivu. Leila min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlam araba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'romav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'imru amen. I love driving this thing. I said I want wheels. So Aaron put wheels on. We're now, Kabbalat Shabbat begins on page 10 with Yehid Nefesh. 10. 10. Yehid Nefesh. Now on page 11, and we're going to be pretty much going page after page after page for a while. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us greet God, raising our voice in song.
Great is Adonai, greater sovereign than all other deities. God's hands form the earth. Deep mountain crests, too, are God's work. The sea is God's, for God made it. Dry land was fashioned by God's hands.
Come, then, let us bow and kneel. Let us bend our knees in the presence of Adonai, who formed us. For Adonai is our God, and we are God's flock, sheep in God's caring hands.
If only you would listen today to God's voice and not become hard-hearted like the people of Nineveh, like that time at Massah in the desert when your ancestor tried me and tested me, though they had seen what I had wrought.
For 40 years I was troubled by that generation, and I said, these are a people whose hearts have gone astray. They do not know my way. So in anger I swore they would not enter my rest. Arba'im shana kud v'dor bo'aram v'leva pei v'hem lo yadu d'rapai asher nishbati v'api v'mod amanukati Shiro l'Adonai shir nata Shiro l'Adonai kol ha'aretz Shiro l'Adonai baruch shemo Asur be'yom le'yom Yeshuato Sabro b'goyim kevodo v'kol Hadar Lefanav Asvit Tiferet B'Mikdasho Havul Adonai Mishpachot Amim Havul Adonai Kavod V'Tovos Havul Adonai Kevod Shehu Mincha Uvol Echasrotav Ishtabavul Adonai B'Hadra Kodesh Elu Mipanav Kol Haaretz Ivru V'Goyim Adonai Malach Atikon Tevel Ba'atimot Yatinam B'Bemei Shachim Yisrafu Hashamayim V'Tagel Haaretz Yiram Hayam Yado Sadai V'Kvod Asher Bo Aziranu Kala Seyar Likei Adonai Kihi Vahad Lishvot Haaretz Lishvot Tevel B'Tzedek Ve'ami Be'emunato Lalai 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 We're now on page 15. Adonai Malach Takel Haaretz Yismechu Rabbi. Adonai reigns, let the earth be glad, the many distant lands rejoice.
Clouds and darkness surround the divine. Righteousness and justice secure God's throne. Fire goes before God, consuming besiegers round about.
Flashes of lightning illumine the land, the earth watches and trembles. Mountains melt like wax at the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the Master of all the earth.
The heavens tell God's righteousness, and all the nations see God's glory. Worshippers of idols be ashamed for praising false God. All the demons scream, bow before God.
Zion hears of it and rejoices. The city of Judah exalts as you, Adonai, pass judgment.
You, Adonai, are above all that is earthly, exalted above all that is worshipped as divine.
Those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them from the hands of the sinful.
Life is sown for the righteous, and joy for the upright. Rejoice in Adonai, you righteous people, and thank God as you pronounce the divine holy name.
Ave Adonai sinu ha-shomer shol hasitam yad rishayim yatzileim ozaru al-tzadik l'Yisrael psicham simcho tzadikim Adonai v'hodu l'zecher kodsho Mizmor shiru l'Adonai shir chadash Hidev nahot ha'asam Hoshiano yemino Ozra kodesho Hodi Adonai Yeshuato Ve'enei hagoyim gilazikato Zazo ve'monato Levet Yisrael ha'ol ha'az ha'aretz And Yeshuat Eloheinu Adiol Adonai kol ha'aretz Yisru v'chananu Zameru Zavol Adonai v'yinor Yechinor v'kol tzivah V'chazot tzvor v'kol shofar Aviu l'ifnei HaMelech Adonai V'yamam lo Tevel v'yosh v'cha V'haruz v'chaocha Yachad ha'divye Kameinu l'ifnei Adonai kiva Lishvod ha'aretz Yizrach tevel v'tzedek Yamim v'mei sarim. Now page 19. Adonai Malach Yirgzu Amin Yoshe Kruvim Tanu Taret. Adonai reigns, nations tremble. The one enthroned amidst the cherubim makes the world quake.
Adonai is great in Zion, love all nations. They shall acknowledge your name, saying, Great, awe-inspiring, holy one.
A sovereign strength lies in the love of justice, and you forge the paths of truth, judging Jacob righteously and justly.
Exalt Adonai our God, bow down before God the Holy One.
Moses and Aaron among God's priests, and Samuel among those who called upon the divine name, called to you, and you answered them.
You spoke to
them from amidst the cloud. They kept your covenant and the law you gave them.
You answered them, Adonai our God, and you were a forgiving God to them, even as you punished them for their transgressions.
Exalt Adonai our God, and bow down at God's holy mountain, for Adonai, our God, is holy.
Romavu Adonai Eloheinu, v'yishtachavu l'har kodsho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. We rise for the next psalm on page 21. Mizmor leDavid, Kol Adonai v'nidin, Kol Adonai, Kavod v'od. Kol Adonai, Kevod Shemo v'shachar Adonai v'har kodesh, Kol Adonai alamani. Adonai, Amari Rabbi, Kol Adonai, Bagoah, Kol Adonai Behadar, Kol Adonai Shoel Avasi, Vaishmamer Adonai Alvanon, Vayarkiten Kemorekel, Nevanon Vesirion, Kemoven Renebi, Kol Adonai, Chotem Lechavotei, Kol Adonai Yahil Midbar, Yahil Adonai Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Yechalayalot, Hayet Kesavot Yehavu, Upei Halovo, Kulo Merkavot, Adonai Ramahu Yasham, V'yeshev Adonai Melech Le'olam Adonai, Oz Le'amo Yiten Adonai Yevarech, You may be seated. We'll sing the Hanamachov together on page 22. Anavechoach gedulat yemincha ta'atir segura. Tahareinu Nora Naki Bordor Sheyevudcha Kevavat Shomreim Barechein Tahareim Rahamim Tikotcha Tamid Gombein Chasi Kadosh Terotucha Nachel Atatecha Yahiket Eleham Habenei Zokretu Shahatecha Shahateinu Kabel Ushem Matzakatenu Yote Page 23. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Shahamor v'zakor v'dibur echad, Ishmiyalu elav neyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'nitzilah. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelecha, ki hi bekor habraham, v'rosh miketeh nisutav somase v'chashavat hilo. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Yiktash melech imelucha, Kubo mitzviri tokah hafetah, Rahavan shevet v'yemek habalacha, V'hu yakom alai tebo. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Ital hari me'afar kumi, V'ishipike itartet abi, Ahayad ben yishar ve'halami, Horma nafshi ve'ahala. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Yitoreri, ki ha'orech kumin hori, uri yori, shirta ve'iri, kevod Adonai alai likra. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Lo tevoshim lo tekavi, Matishtochaki u'matehemi, V'chetesu aniei abi, V'dignita pir'altila. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. V'hayolim shisar shobosai, V'rat lavku kol mevalahi, Asis alai Elohai, Kisos katat kala. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. Yahidus novo tirosi, Yechet Adonai tarisi, Ayahish ben kausi, V'tisnecha v'hakila. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lekabela. V'chadodi lekrakala pene Shabbat nikala. Ori v'shalom atechet banav, gaham v'simcha u'v'tzahana, tolochem u'ne'am shekula, bo'ichala, Lechadodi lekrakala, v'nei Shabbat nikala. Lechadodi lekrakala, v'nei Shabbat nikala. You may be seated. We're now on page 27, the psalm for the song of the day of Shabbat. Mizmor shir yom haShabbat, tov l'tav Adonai, l'zamen shim hayom, lehagid b'boker chasdecho, v'emunatecha b'aleitot. It is good to thank you, Adonai, and to sing to your name Most High, to proclaim your love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night.
Finger the lute, pluck the harp, let the sound of the lyre rise up.
You gladden me with your deeds, Adonai, and I shall sing of your handiwork.
How wonderful are your works, Adonai, how subtle your designs.
The arrogant do not understand, the fool does not comprehend this. The wicked flourish like grass, and every evildoer blossoms, only to be destroyed forever.
But you, Adonai, are exalted for all time.
Surely your enemies, Adonai, surely your enemies will perish. All who commit evil will be scattered.
As a wild bull raises up its horn, you raise my head high, anointed it with fresh oil.
As my enemies gather against me, my gaze remains steady, my ears listen and hear.
The righteous flourish like the date palm, thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in God's courtyard.
In old age they remain fruitful, still fresh and bountiful, proclaiming Adonai is upright, a rock in whom there is no flaw. Tzadika tamar Yifrach, Ereves Panon Yizhesh Yisrolim, Evet Adonai, V'hasrot Eloheinu, Yahafrihu, O Yinun B'Seirah, Yisheim Hananim, Yehu Lechakim, Yashar Adonai, Tzuviro Halat Avon. Page 29. Adonai Malaki Lavei Shamrei Oz Katzar Aptikon Teva Baltimot. Adonai is sovereign, robed in splendor, girded in strength. The earth stands firm, not to be dislodged. From earliest time you were enthroned. You are eternal.
The rivers rise up, Adonai. The rivers raise up their roar. The rivers raise up their waves. Above the roar of the vast sea and the majestic breakers of the ocean, Adonai stands supreme in the heavens.
In your house, beautiful in his holiness, your testimonies endure, Adonai, for all time. Mikolot ma'im rabim adivrim mishpreyam adivam avom Adonai. Eitotecha vehem v'humehod v'feitecha na'avat kodesh. Adonai le'oret yomim. Mortis Kaddish, page 30. Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shmei rabah. Yalamat divrach yirutei v'yamlik malchutei v'chayei pon v'yomei pon v'chayei v'kol beit Yisrael. V'agalah v'zman karit yiruch amen. Yehei shmei rabah v'torah le'olam amen. Yitzarah v'yishtabach v'yithoar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh Yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei kudushav Leila v'kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiram v'alma v'ru amen. Yehei shlam abrava min shamaya v'chayim aleinu v'yachol Yisrael v'ru amen. Oseh shalom v'rumav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'chol Yisrael v'ru amen. We'll rise for Baruch Hu on page 39A. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Le'olam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Le'olam Vaed. You may be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro bari parapim b'chokmah p'tei hasharim v'tbunah ish mishaleitim u'machaleh et hazmanim u'mesader et hakochavim u'mishmarteim barakia kirtzono. Sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their place in the sky.
Who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzebaot is your name. Living and ever-present God, may your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dust.
Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, ma'afir yom v'mevi layla, ma'afir ben yom u'ben layla, Adonai tzvot shemo, echai v'kayam, tamidim lo, chaleinu le'olam kohen, Baruch atah Adonai, samamim v'kavim. Continue on page 40. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael ahavtam Kol hamitzvot chukim mishpati otanu v'hadeta Hakin Adonai Eloheinu Shofeinu hu b'kumeinu Nasiat b'chukecha Nizmach b'divrei Toratecha ובמצוותיך לעולם חיים. כי הם חיינו, יורד ימינו, יורד ימינו, ובהם נגד יומם ולילה. מבטך תעשה ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. היו הדברים האלה אשר בצוואתך היום עליך ושננתם לבניך וביקרתם ושיתך ביתך ובדתך לדרך ושוכבך ובקומך ושרתם לבוא על דרך היו תדפות בעיניך ותרשם עם זובתך וישמרך. We'll continue at our own pace, and we'll meet up at the bottom of page 42. Adonai Eloheinu. We'll continue on page 43b. 43b, we'll read it responsibly. You proclaim the covenant on the seventh day.
You declared it,
You love this day we inherited, delighting in its remembrance.
And began its command with the word, remember, Zachor.
From the time you bestowed it, joy filled the hearts of Jeshurun, the people you redeemed.
Securing the cause of righteousness.
You exalted Shabbat as a sign between us forever. In 6 days your world was formed, on the seventh day you rested.
And on this day, Israel, you rested.
To honor your name, they sing songs of praise to the one deserving of praise. We'll continue on page 44. U'maputo kubratzon kibul oleihem Moshe Miriam uvnei Yisrael leponu shira b'simcha rava eruchulam mi kamocha uvelim Adonai mi kamocha ne'havavnei Torah tigil tosefelen Malchut karu v'necha Moshe Sedi Anu Kamro Nemar Kifara Adonai Et Yaakov Kula Melchazak Meno Adonai Al Yisrael. Now on page 45. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim ufros aleinu sukat shlomecho v'tamnenu b'tzatova b'fonecho v'osienu v'oshienu l'man shemecho. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O stop.
Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us.
Shield us, shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, God, watch over and deliver us, and you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate.
Ensure our going and coming for life and peace now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Ushmor tzedkeinu v'enu l'chaim l'shalom v'atam yad olam ufros aleinu sukat shalomecho Baruch atah Adonai haporeh sukat shalom aleinu al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. We turn to page 46. We rise for Shamru, then Chasi Kaddish, followed by Amidah, our own individual prayer. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat na'asot et ha-Shabbat ne'edogotam b'lit olam Ne'yu beit b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz u'vayom hashivini Shabbat v'inafas Yikadav yikadash mirabo Yamad yivrach yirutev yam yipaputei V'chayikon of yomechon V'chayirecho beit Yisrael V'agadav yizman kariv yibru Amen Yehesh ve'rava levarach le'olam le'omoyo Yiparach v'yistabach v'yipor v'yitramam v'yitnasi Yitadar vitale vitalal shemeri kudisham riku Elam in kover kata v'shirata Tush bekata v'nechemata Damekandoma v'ibru
Amen.
we'll remain standing for the Vayakulu, just give people a few more moments to finish their own personal prayer. I think somebody leave?
Yes, Barbara,
Okay, so I think we lost them, yeah.
we have.
Okay, all right. So we'll just say the Vayakulu, and then after the Vayakulu, and then we'll go to the Kiddush. Vayakulu Hashemayim v'haaretz v'chol zeman v'yachaloi v'yomashim l'to asher asa v'yishmor v'yomashim mikol l'to asher asa v'yivarech Elohim et yomashim v'yikadesh oto kimo shabbat mikol l'to asher bara Elohim לעשות. Salpri, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza b'anu, Shabbat kodsho b'ahav ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maseh bereishit, yihu yom tefila l'nikrei kodesh, zeher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Yivanu b'harto, yotanu kidasha mikalamim, v'shabat kodshecha, v'ahav ratzon hinkatanu, Baruch atah Adonai, v'kadesh ha'shalom. L'chaim tovim u'shalom. Okay. So there's this wonderful collection of thoughts on the weekly Torah portion by Rabbi Mark Angel. Do you happen to know? No. So Rabbi Mark Angel is, I would say, he's one of the senior Sephardic rabbis in America. And he was the rabbi of I think it's called the Spanish and Portuguese synagogue in New York. He's originally from Seattle, Washington. And he is an interesting thinker. And he has a YouTube channel. But this is really a wonderful collection. So in this week's Parsha, Ki Tisa, there is the verse, the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations as an eternal covenant. So this famous verse from this week's Parsha seems to have redundancy. It informs us that the children of Israel shall keep Shabbat to observe Shabbat. How do we keep Shabbat to observe it? Never really thought of it that way. Let's find out. The great Hasidic master, Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev, explained the verse as follows. We are commanded to keep the Sabbath. When we actually do keep the Sabbath, we will find that it is a wonderful, soul-satisfying experience. Indeed, it is so fulfilling that we will want to observe the Sabbath next week and the week after and throughout the generations. So it goes on from there, but I just want to share that little nugget from Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev through Rabbi Mark Angel. Maybe I'll share more of that tomorrow. So some of you may know that I lost a dear friend, David Greenwald, earlier in the week. He was a one-of-a-kind guy. I met him 23 years ago on Shabbat, actually. I was walking to I was living in Boulder, Colorado, and he had just moved there. He was born in the Bronx, and he was a teacher, public school teacher for I think 30 years, all told. He taught in Brooklyn in a tough neighborhood, and then he made his way to Boulder, where he just loved Boulder, Colorado, loved the outdoors. And one Shabbat morning, I was walking to a little synagogue, and to my surprise, I see a fellow who's wearing a suit. And now this is Boulder, Colorado, mind you. And if you know Boulder, he's wearing a suit and a tie and a black kippah. I'm like, it's got to be a New York Jew, right? So I said, good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom. Oh, Shabbat Shalom. From that moment on, we were like best friends, best buddies. Before he died, a mutual friend of ours sat down and asked him, like, what are some bits of wisdom that you'd like to, share with friends to take with them. So I just want to find one thing. Well, maybe a couple of things, and they're really just simple, nothing really profound, but it means a lot to me because he was such a good friend. Live your life and do the things you want to do, right? I mean, true, MS, right? Live your life and do the things you want to do. And judge people with kindness. Just another thing he wanted to share. And another thing, nobody's pain is greater than another's pain. And then let go of the past. It's over. Maybe it didn't happen the way you believed it happened. and then let's see. And then just maybe one more. Stop and see those good, beautiful moments of life that are happening right now. Be present. And that was Dave. He was always, as long as I knew him, he meditated. He was a very spiritual guy. And for him, it was always being as present as he could with an open heart. And he was a really, like, everybody who knew Dave, loved Dave. And he was really, like, I think to everybody, he said, "You're my best friend." He's one of those guys. So I'm gonna miss Dave, and I know that he lives on with me and with our friends. So Shabbat Shalom, Dave. So yeah.
I saw a lovely bumper sticker the
Oh, yeah.
other day.
Yeah.
It said, "Keep Boulder weird."
Keep Boulder weird. That's right. I think it's still pretty weird. So let's take a moment and think of our loved ones who are in need of healing, prayers of healing, especially Elizabeth Cohn and Marion Koshar and other friends and family. And we'll sing the healing prayer by Debbie Friedman. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misera imoteno, Ekol HaBracha Lavoteno. Bless those in need of healing, with Refuah Shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And we'll rise for Aleinu on whatever page it's on.
56.
Thank you. 56. Gracias. 56. Aleinu Zacher Lado Hakol Vatekrula Yosef Reshish Shalos Adakage Hamatzot Velos Amalot Vishvot Adama Shalos Amakinu Kohem Ekal Aleinu Kirmamonan Yanadu Kobi Mishadavi Muti Nifnehel Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shehu Shamayim Yosef Amor David Kavod Shamayim Limaha Shvina Tuzo V'Govi U'Menoteinu Eno Emenotenu V'Zulato Kakatu V'Togato Yadata Yom Me'Hashevota Elevavecha Ki Adonai Elohim Asher Shamayim V'Imahan Yahawetz Yitzchakenu Nekod. Ki המלכות שבהיא לא מעטם לו בכבוד, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני אלוהים לעולם פועל. לך, אדוני, אדוני, services tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. And I don't know if it's a sponsored kiddush or not. You know, Sally, it's a sponsored
Didn't
kiddush.
look like it.
Didn't look like it. So just a regular old kiddush, which ain't half bad, actually. So Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shalom, shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, shalom, Shabbat, 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 shalom, Shabbat, shalom, Shabbat, shalom, Shabbat, 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 shalom.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh.
Don't forget your cookies.
Yeah, I got the cookies. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
Yeah. When I told her to only pay like 1 hour. You pay like 1 hour. Yes. I'm thinking, maybe to come to see her by our birthday because her birthday is on the 20th and mine is on the 24th.
So you can see
In June.
in